Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Toast Boy
Now
live
recording.
podcast. It's been we had a good break. Our break was from podcasts, and now we're doing tier lists live in front of everybody. But let us know down below if you really want to see that type of content again. But we're thinking about doing it again. So get started. We have a newer topic, and this topic has been out for quite some time. And no, it's not WandaVision. It's definitely not Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No, this is a movie produced by Disney, and it's called Raya and the Last Dragon. And we've all three of us have watched the movie, and it's only fair that we actually get to talk about it. But here's the thing, though. There are going to be some spoilers. So if you are a person who does not like spoilers, please click off the video because they are going to be major spoilers ahead. So, with that out of the way, let's get into this. Let's get into this topic. But how are you guys? You guys doing okay? I could tell we're all in for a really rough ride, especially with this topic.
Yeah.
What about you? You guys doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I want to get
Yeah.
this over with because I got something in my head and it's been like stuck in my head for the past like 3 months and I can't
Oh,
wait
really?
enough. And it's
just
on my fucking
It's
head
just flat out done.
because I don't want to ever. I want to get rid of this shit. I want to get rid of this fucking curse in my head, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's just
I don't know either. But all right. Well, let's talk about the good things that made this movie really interesting. I think what made this movie interesting, in my opinion, was the cinematography. Camera shots were really good. You got some really good long shots. You got some really good camera angles. It was a good part about the movie. Obviously, it's a visual. It's very eye candy to the eyes. It's very breathtaking, like Keanu Reeves. But this type of breathtaking is trash in a way, I guess. But you'll see why. It's definitely amazing. I really do love visual effects, with the little water stuff that's going around. It was really good. And the lore, I think the lore is okay, but it could use some work. But in your opinion, Trap Snake, what was your favorite part about the movie? What was the good part about the movie?
I'm gonna say that
Please explain.
some pretty good parts about the movies was that I think what they did was that ultimately they like had this like, especially with the whole like visuals. I think the visual like they did a fairly good job on this one. I'll give them some. I'll give them applause to that. And other thing that I also like want to say is that in Raya and the Last Dragon, I think what they were going for was that they were trying to represent all the cultures from like Southeast Asia.
From Asia.
And it was like it was really nice to see that there's like certain parts where like for example like in the case of like where like for example I see some of the outfits specifically I see them coming from like Thailand and like everything else, which I surprisingly thought it was really pretty interesting because I saw like a behind the scenes behind Raya and the Last Dragon, and it was
really okay.
Some of like the concepts behind it was like overall pretty interesting.
Okay. What intrigued you about the concepts? Like, is it art wise? Is it like
It's like
Please explain.
I feel like they've done a pretty good job with their like research with like all the with the cultures instead of like I like in this movie is that they at least they showed like some sort of more representation towards like sort of for like specifically like Asian cultures, because like I like how it showed like it's not just like Chinese like in the Mulan movie where everyone loved it. I loved it for sure as well. Not the animation one, not the garbage 2021. But
you mean the live action one?
Shut the fuck up.
It's live action, not animation.
Yeah, it's live action. I was about to say, but it's okay. We all like. I mean, let's take a look at me, for example. I do a lot of mistakes. I've said some pretty dumb stuff live in front of everybody. But you're not alone. I mean, I might say something stupid right now, but you never know. So, I don't know. Like with Raya and the Last Dragon, it was visually stunning. It looked visually impressive. But Sans, what about you? What was the good part about this movie? Like, what, in your opinion, what was very good about this movie? Please explain.
Well,
Okay.
I really don't have one. I
Ooh,
didn't really enjoy the movie as much as you guys probably enjoyed the artwork. The artwork was fine. That's what I was. That's what I liked about the movie. It was pretty,
okay.
it was nice, it looked polished, but it wasn't. To me, it didn't look. It was fully finished. Like they didn't finish it like to the thing, like
What makes
to
you say that?
because it looked. The story felt rushed, like really rushed.
Okay, that's true. Okay.
Um, there were plot points that didn't make any like sense. Like it was like, what? Why is this here, and why is that there? It's like why? I just
Mm.
there's like so much stuff, but like it's like hard to say because
Well, yeah, it is hard to say because it's like this movie is visually good, but pretty much everything else about it, if you take away the visual effects, it just looks like a generic movie that kind of deserves a
yeah,
score, like, 4 out of 10 or something like that.
Like I'd
yeah,
say like
For
a 6
example,
out of 10 at best, because it's
you
like,
say a six? Okay, that
because
makes
like
sense.
because it's like it feels it it was a pretty mediocre movie at best, but it's like,
Oh yeah, very. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it truly was a mediocre movie.
but I feel like they
You know,
could have done
overall.
much more overall.
Oh yeah, sure enough, dude.
Because like that
Much more.
movie, I feel like this movie had definitely had a lot of like potential to see, like definitely
What
had
do
a
you
lot of
mean?
like like what they could have done with this whole like thing was that,
Sorry.
especially is that
Oh,
the like I get it, they're trying to get some of the like trying to appeal to the whole like thing where it's like the whole representation of like in the whole like diverse thing, try to be like more as diverse and not like in like not in like a bad way, but in like in a good way where it's like,
yeah, that was fine. I really didn't mind the diversity in that movie. But like, whenever this was fine. It was like more of a fresh take on the diversity thing that they're trying to do because it is Disney. They want to try and shove that shit down your fucking throat as quickly and as, you know, painfully as possible. With this one, it's like, oh, okay, we got like, we got Filipino people in here, we got, Japanese people in
I
here, we
don't
got
think there was
Chinese people in here.
Japanese and Chinese are in East Asia. We're talking about Southeastern Asia.
Oh,
Get your geography,
oh
buddy.
shit.
Get your
My bad. What I did say earlier I was gonna say something stupid on this podcast.
yeah.
So there you go. Steak. But yeah, all mistakes aside, the diversity is really represented here. I just and I really do need to get my Asians straight, but yeah, diversity. I'm glad it's in this movie and it's not like being forced down your throat. That's
Yeah.
probably what's really good about this movie. Besides, the lore and the cinematography and the anime. Let's talk about the bad things though. For me personally, the bad things were the characters, like, outfits wise, it wasn't very Araki, it wasn't very JoJo. I mean, it's pretty obvious because, when you look at
everything has to have
JoJo,
art style to you,
yeah,
doesn't it? It's
yeah,
just
it always has to be, man. I want to see hearts, I want to see fucking pompadours, I want to see, maybe a Jotaro outfit at least once in a while. I
Maybe
want to see
some sort
that.
of part 5 shit. That would have been
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Freaking Obakio.
Squall Lone
Oh man.
Tiziano.
Hell yeah, dude. Going back to Raya and the Last Dragon, I think the thing that was very bad about the characters was especially with this one character, was the hairstyles. When I looked at this character's hairstyle, I forgot who that character's name was. Trapside, can you remind me actually?
I fucking hate this bitch. Her name is
oh
Namari.
my,
Yeah.
She has
Mari,
the
yeah.
most punchable face in the whole story.
oh my
I
goodness,
I really do not like her hairstyle. I was like,
Gabby
bro,
Hanna
like
looking ass bitch.
it really is if you
my
like think
goodness.
about it. Like she fucking sucks. She
Like,
fucking sucks as a character.
like she's like I feel like she's like a one-sided character in a way where it's like,
She is a one-sided character. She's like, "Oh, I'm the big bad guy," but then
But then,
and in
oh
the
no,
end,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
it's like,
change.
"Oh no, what
Oh
should I be
no,
afraid of?"
I don't know. It's like
Hairstyle was
it's like
like
the it's
shit,
like the
man.
same trope of like every fucking like thing that I read or watch.
Really?
Yeah, like the
How
villain,
many
the feel,
how
if
many
like
how
the
many
villain
things have
just
you watched
like a fuck
with the
ton.
same hairstyle?
Not with the hairstyle, but like like antagonist wise, it's just like it's just
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah,
it isn't so
it's
different. It's not so
like the same
Okay.
thing that they keep spitting out.
Really?
yeah.
Oh, so it's like in your case, I guess you could say in your guys' case, it's like a friggin' like a little loop-de-loop thing. It's like a cycle over
Yeah,
and over and over again.
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
they use
okay.
the same
exactly.
character trope over and over again.
Okay. So it's like they're recycling old content, basically, what you're
Yeah,
trying to
pretty
say.
much.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much. That's exactly.
Well,
what
except they
it is.
changed the character's hairstyle because,
Like
why not? Everybody's got to have that fucking hairstyle.
like
It's
for
just,
example, what's his face?
uh-huh.
Yoshikage Kira, the one of the top rated villains of JoJo. Like he
Uh-huh.
at least he has like a very good goal, which is living a quiet life and like trying to stead quietly. He had that's a aside from
I mean, he
eating
did have a
fucking
hand.
aside from having a
Even
fucking
though he
hand
kills
fetish, yeah, and killed
Yeah.
people. Aside from that shit, I can like I
That's that that's what they should have done in this movie.
like some sort of like
Yeah, they should have done some like fucking Yoshikage Kira shit movie. Or like we
Fights
want
with
a
not like
quiet
Yoshi.
life. We want a quiet life, but we have the last of the MacGuffin, right? And basically what a MacGuffin is, it's like I don't even know what to say about this MacGuffin in this fucking movie. So it's kind of like relatable to the Death Star, or it's relatable to the ring, from Lord of the Ring,
I don't think it's
that sort of
that.
thing.
It's like it has to be like the thing. It's like it's not. It should be like the thing. It's like when a villain makes like a goal, it should be like a goal that is like where I can like see like where
That
I can
makes sense.
understand or like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a relatable goal to us. See, like, why can't we do something like Syndrome from fucking Incredibles? Like he was a sympathetic villain, but his goal is to take
Yeah.
over the world and make everybody super strong and get rich and all this other stuff, right? The
yeah.
only reason why he did that is because Mr. Incredible cast him out.
Yeah.
That's why I like him as a villain. I guess you
Yeah.
could say.
Yeah.
That's
His
relatable. That's something I
his
want to see.
villain made sense. He was cast out by his favorite person on the planet, and he just threw
Yeah.
him away. And he was
Yeah.
Like
he just said,
trash.
"Fly home." And it was like, "What the fuck? Why can't I just? Why can't I be a hero?" He's like,
Mhm.
"What the fuck?" But
I like, yeah, he would have been a good sidekick if Mr. Incredible let him join his group.
Mhm.
Like as a sidekick. I would love to see that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, it's a Batman and a Robin, only not a Batman and a Robin. Incredible and Incredible Boy.
Oh,
Incredible Boy,
definitely.
or whatever the fuck.
that's what he said. He said, "Incrediboy."
Oh, you said Incredible Boy? Oh shit. Maybe my mistakes weren't fucked up after all. I don't know, hard to say.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, going back to Raya and the Last Dragon. We got really off topic, by the way, but going back to Raya and the Last Dragon, I think let's talk about the story. I mean, from my point of view, this is like it, right? This is the story right here. All right, so we have this land, right? And obviously it was ruled by dragons and it was ruled by humans. And these friggin' like bad things come out of nowhere, right? Friggin' Kingdom Hearts ripoff looking ass motherfuckers,
Trope.
dust clouds just come in.
Yeah.
Just come in.
After fucking everyone.
Yeah. They come in,
It's
they
like
turn
King-
everybody to stone. And then the last dragons were like, all right, let's create this MacGuffin right here that just
Let's make a
literally-
gem. Let's make
It's a ball of light, basically. And then boom, goodbye evil for now. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
As long as you don't touch the
last-
fucking gem where it's
as
supposed to
long
be
as
at.
you don't break it. Right? As long as you don't break this magical sphere of light, right? That is
Yeah.
the only thing keeping this world together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And guess
It's
what
like,
they did? Guess what the main characters and half of the villains did? They broke the fucking thing. Now the thing's in shambles, it's in pieces, and they're
Mhm.
going left and right. So there's these freaking tribes. It's like, we're going way too fast, man. Like you need to ground your audience. All right. You need to ground your audience. Okay. What I mean
Mhm.
by ground your audience, you need to like have a little thing, like a little resting
Yeah.
period, right?
Just show
Just
them
at least
what the
like
tribes did before.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's what they should have done instead of like, what the hell is it called? That should have been like in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, this happened, right?
Yeah.
Like the tribes, the dragon saved the world, right? And we don't know where the last dragon went, all right?
Yeah.
And then, my father turned to stone, and the friggin' tribes came in, they stole and they
The
broke
tribes
it,
had
and
conflict with each
we're
other
trying to repair the
because,
world.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot better in my opinion because it's like, oh, okay, I get it. It's not the best idea. It's not like Lord of the Rings sort of thing,
Yeah.
but it is acceptable. It explains to the
Yeah.
audience, because Raya was telling everybody this in the fucking beginning of this movie. She explained it like this, how I explained it to the audience and both
Yeah.
of you. That's how it should have been done.
Exactly.
The way how they did it is just like, all right, here's point A, here's point B, here's this, and then the beginning part, and it's like, what?
Doing it
A
too
resting
fast.
period.
It felt really like
You don't feel
rushed.
it's so emotionless. It's so like rushed.
And it's kind of hard to feel for some of the characters.
It
It's like,
really
what
is.
the
There's
fuck?
no
Because
ground.
they're
There's
going
no
too
ground.
fucking fast with it.
Yeah.
They're going too fast with the plot. Slow the plot down a bit.
I feel like
Holy
they could have
shit.
done was that they could have like had some sort of like character development for each like character that was like there.
It's like they put a
It just
plot on
felt
a
like
fucking,
like-
on a fucking like the DeLorean from
Back to the Future.
and they fucking flowing, just fucking
like
line,
for example,
and
like
it's,
Raya.
that fast.
Like Raya like has this thing where like for example her when she gets angry she gets with the like especially with that fight against the main antagonist Damari for
Yeah,
basically
at the end. Yeah.
yeah at the like like very close to the end, which is it just felt so like
It didn't really feel emotional when they were fighting each other, the main antagonist and Raya. They're just like fighting each other. They're clanging swords, and I'm like, well, this is fun. Let me go back to what's on Instagram. Ooh, 50% off on JoJo boots.
That was
Hell
the only
yeah.
thing that interested me in the thing. That was the only thing that interested me. That was the
Really?
fight
It
scene.
didn't
Yeah,
interest me at all. Why did it interest you?
because it's like it reminds me of certain reasons why sometimes we fight. When you're blinded by
Okay.
rage, your heart fills with hatred, and you don't know what you're doing because she didn't know what she was doing when she fought because she was blinded. And then the
Where
other
does
thing
that
is
hatred come from?
yeah
from
Yeah.
the hatred.
Yeah, the hatred part.
She didn't
I'm
like her
very
because
curious.
she did the thing to the. She fucked
She's-
up the whole fucking. She fucked up the whole. The whole reason the story began is because she fucked it up.
yeah
She's the one
That's
who
true.
fucking broke.
yeah she
everything.
broke the fucking crystal and everything and like
So that's why Raya is fucking mad with her.
yeah she almost
Yeah.
literally caused like the entire land to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
The whole
true.
reason why it's like they didn't get destroyed was the water. It stopped them.
The water.
The water.
Like water.
But it's like the.
This is a massive Bruce Lee thing.
Yeah.
Oh, like water. Yeah,
Be
go ahead, Sam, you were
formless.
saying.
Be shaped.
It's like it's the fight scene was like it showed me that like if you're angry in a fight you're uncontrollable, but if you're calm in a fight you can do much more. It's
yeah
like,
exactly.
that's what it like shows me, but it might show you guys something different, but yeah,
Yeah,
I've
because
seen way
most
too
of us
many
are built
fight
different.
scenes.
Yeah. You're like
I
the
like-
fighting anime kid. You're like, all right, hey, I just walk up to you one day and I'm like, hey, buddy, what am I supposed to do in this situation? You're like, well, I think you should rip out his throat and kick his balls in. That's what you probably should do.
Oh my goodness.
The
Oh,
smart
you
anime
did.
character.
Okay. Right. Well, let's get back to the topic before we get out of hand. But yeah, going back to the story, the middle part of the story is the most important part because it's like it's the hero's journey, right?
Yeah.
And from point A to point B. Ugh, I can't speak today, but you understand what I'm saying, right? You go from point A to point B, but you do it slowly. Lord of the Rings is a perfect example, right? Because it took 3 freaking movies to get from point A to point B. It builds up a lot of tension. It builds up a lot of emotional support from the audience and from the main characters and the side characters and all these other fucking characters.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Like
didn't-
same
they didn't
goes
do
for
this at
like
all in this
Final
fucking movie.
Fantasy VII. Same thing. Like the thing is like
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
like same thing with like even though the game takes like a fuck ton of hours, it's worth it on the long run because like for example
Yeah.
in the original Final Fantasy game, the whole point of like for example, Cloud and the gang's purpose was to stop Shinra from using all the Mako to fuck up the planet. But
Magical,
then there's a
final.
but then there's a bigger villain, which is Sephiroth. Sephiroth is a
True.
fucking crazy batshit villain.
Batshit
He
insane.
wants to destroy the world and recreate it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. Because for his love for his mother, and
at
that's
the same
something that is truly batshit insane.
Yeah, like Claude made like everyone like the thing is like each character has their own flaws and things, and they must like overcome it in a way where it's like, and there's a reason behind it. Like in Final Fantasy, like for example, Claude has like, because remember in Crisis Core they like was it Claude got fucked up by the Mako energy, and with the same thing with Zack.
He got fucked up by that gaming kush from Mako.
the G Fuel, the fucking
G Fuel. He couldn't handle one sip of gamer fuel. Now he's lying on his back while Zack fucking carries him.
Oh no.
G Fuel.
But
Zack carried me.
But bringing the story back, I want to go back to the hero's journey thing, because this is something that we've all seen, right? The hero gets his party, or, he goes by himself. He goes from point A to point B to fight the villain, or it could be vice versa. The villain goes to the hero first, right? Or it could go either way, depending on how to write your story. But with Raya and the Last Dragon, there is a hero's journey. It's just rushed. This movie sucks at pacing itself. There's no pacing. It's just like, oh, look, flashy animations, flashy this, flashy that. New characters, even characters getting introduced feels friggin' rushed. Right? One of the characters I actually do want to bring up is, what's that dude's name? He got introduced at the very last minute.
Is it the big guy?
Who his name? Yeah, the big dude. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
There's this.
I think. Here, let me look this
big
up.
Dude, right? With him, it's like he should not have been in the story, but he was an okay character. I think he was way better than Raya and the dragon. I forgot her name.
Yes.
Half of these characters are so forgettable, not even funny at all. But with this character, he had an emotional story. I think I would rather have him be the main character, because his mother or his wife gone, child gone, right? I think this movie should just been about him trying to repair everything and make everything great again. I don't know.
Yeah, at least he had some pretty decent story.
He had some pretty decent backstory.
Yeah, and he had like a purpose at least.
Yeah. I just prefer him a lot over Raya, because with Raya, I understand she's trying to, do this for her dad. She's trying to do this for the world. She's trying to do this for everybody. But it's like the other dude, the big dude, had way more. He had way more like lore and stuff. He had way more backstory. It's emotional backstory too. The fact we didn't get that with Raya, I mean, we did. Her dad's pretty much gone throughout half of the story. He's not dead, but he's just turned to stone for a little bit.
Yeah.
It just didn't really feel emotional. It's like, oh, okay. All right, well, we're gonna see him at the end of the movie. That's pretty much it. But going back to the point A, point B thing, it's rushed. It's absolutely rubbish. I personally think that this is the most rubbish movie, that it literally rushes itself way too friggin' much.
Like they just right?
Another
the whole
it's like, oh hey,
gave it and let it go slowly, it would have been better. But
would have been better.
But they had to be fast as fuck boy and try to fucking make the movie
trying to be faster than Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Like I can tell you, there's one scene and then it transitions to another scene after they stop talking for a bit, and then they just fucking continues on. It's really fast paced.
It's so rushed. There's no build up to it. It's like, oh, okay, here we are. Oh, there we are. All right, we got the gem. All right, let's move out. It's like, what? I'm like, bro, not even like the people from Naruto run that freaking, bro. It's not even that freaking fast. Like too fast. You need to slow it down.
Naruto has too many flashbacks for it to be.
Like why? How come there weren't any flashbacks? Like, where were the flashbacks for the story?
Yeah.
For example,
There
Captain
was
Boone,
one.
right? Yeah,
There was one.
Captain Boone. Oh, was there one? Oh, yeah, there was one.
Yeah, it was
That's
the
true. There
dragon.
was one. It was for the dragon, yeah. But I felt like each character should have gotten the backstory. It's like, oh, okay, it feels more relatable. I relate to this. Okay. We didn't get that at all with the side characters. And, I feel like the side characters are like the build up for the main characters. Because it's like, the main characters, after they hear, somebody's backstory, they go, oh, crap. His fate was worse than mine, or her fate was worse than mine, depending on, what that character is. Like, man, why couldn't we get that with Captain Boone? I really kind of like Captain Boone. I thought Captain Boone was kind of funny. He did have some more funnier lines than the dragon, and she was forcing herself to friggin' be funny. And I'm like, bro, no, not do that.
Don't. You're not funny. Stop trying to be Mushu.
Yeah, friggin' Mushu ripoff.
I don't know. To me, like the dragon just felt like a mixed version of some sort of like how do I say? It's like a mix of like My Little Pony and like How to Train Your Last Dragon. Last Dragon.
Yeah, it really is. It's a Disney How to Train Your Dragon.
But
it's really
confused with My Little Pony and fucking and with How to Train Your Dragon is just infused into that.
It is. It is. And that's what really sucks about this movie. It's like just no emotional support. There's no good characters. At least, in my opinion, I don't think the characters are really fleshed out. The story's freaking god awful.
Yeah.
It's rushed. Again, we should just rename this movie to Raya and the Rush Dragon, because all they do is freaking rush.
Raya
and the Rush Dragon.
Raya
and the Rush Dragon. All right.
No.
That's the end. That's the movie.
Raya and Kingdom Hearts 4.
Raya and Kingdom Hearts 4.
Master Xehanort's like, give me all the hearts, heartless, so I can make the Master Keyblade.
I didn't like the enemy, not like the main antagonist, just like the enemy at all. Like
the thing that turned people to stone.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
What's up with that?
It's like,
how come the main antagonist couldn't control these things that turn people to stone?
Yeah,
that would have been way better.
You know what?
That's way better.
They don't dive back into the depth and lore of fucking the Droon. They only fucking say, "Oh, well, they're like evil things that come from out of your hearts." That sounds a little bit sus. That sounds like Kingdom Hearts shit.
Yeah,
I really felt like they did rip off Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, now that the both of you, two pure Kingdom Hearts fans, are telling me, a non-Kingdom Hearts fan, I see it too.
Yeah,
it's just. And this makes me want to confront my inner darkness inside my heart right now.
It just felt like
it really does feel like that.
Like Raya as like some sort of like they try to like do something like similar to like Sora in a way where it's like
she's female Sora, but she fails at being female Sora.
Yeah, gender bend Sora.
If you think about it, they should have added a character who could control the fuckers.
Yeah,
so that it would make sense.
It should have been Fang.
They didn't have.
Yeah, it should have been Fang.
Could have been that Gabby Hanna looking ass.
No, I'd rather her not fucking.
I'd rather be her mother. Let's be honest here.
It should have been Master fucking Xehanort. He should have came in there and be like, "This is me, I'm gonna fuck up this land." And then Sora's coming in. I won't let you, Xehanort.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So yeah, going back to the story, I just have to say it was very confusing. It was rushed, emotional enough. It just all around sucks.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
So yeah, pretty.
Yeah.
You're summing up, it's dog shit. Just don't watch it.
Just don't watch it.
Yeah. It's not for my taste. It might be for yours, but if it is, oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever.
Their taste is probably gonna taste like dog shit.
Yeah.
But if you want to go watch that. I am totally not against stopping people from watching whatever they think is right, because that's what everybody should. They have the right to do that. You have the right to say whatever you want as long as it's not offending.
Yeah.
But we're just warning.
We're just warning you. We're trying to look out for you.
I think
whoever is watching this.
It was a waste of my fucking time watching that movie.
I just felt like it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't worth it at all.
It was definitely not worth it.
Really was.
All right, but here's the final score for this movie review.
Like here, like before we get to like
I'm
the
going
final
to.
score, like I want to
All
talk more
right,
about the
you want
movie.
a final saying?
It's like the problem. Like I'm gonna go deeper into this. Is that like the thing
Uh-huh.
about like the problem with like the main antagonist is that I feel like what she could have done is like there's some sort of like character development, especially going on to this from back to what I'm saying about being one-sided, is that I feel like she could like, especially with the whole like, you know how like in the beginning of the movie they were like all they had a conflict with each other because they believed that the one that was holding, well, I forgot what was the tribes, one of the tribes' name. It was with
Oh,
Raya's like
Fang.
Fang or so. Or
Yes.
I don't fucking remember. I don't even.
Even the tribe names are very forgetful, like this story
Yeah, it's
and the
like
characters. And
it's like the thing it's like I feel like they could have done is like the Mari, like the main attack. I feel like what they could have done is like especially is like they could have like especially like questioning her mother's motives and like everyone else's thing, like
oh
why did
yeah,
they decide to like why did they like conflict with each other? What's the point of conflicting with each other when they could literally
when they
just
what?
when they like
Oh yes,
they have the gems that they could possibly literally save the entire land. I
yeah,
feel like she could have had some
100%
sort of
agreeable.
like the thing where she starts to question everything about like thing that would have been some pretty good like moment that would been,
Oh, so like an inner conflict sort of thing.
yeah, like an
Okay,
inner
I like that
conflict thing.
thinking.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I like that.
like we're doing the wrong thing here. We shouldn't take all the pieces
You
for
should,
ourselves and
yeah,
do that. We should
Instead
make
of like
everyone
just
Yeah.
doing it at like last minute and like especially with
Yeah.
the
I
ending
hate
where
that. Yeah,
like where the
Yeah.
ending where the whole purpose of the story, which is trust, I feel like if they would have like hinted in a way in like the middle of the movie or so, like when they got to like to things like that temple where they like entered and they were, and especially when like
enter.
when Namari shot like especially when the part when everything else took place, I feel like they could have like done something much better with it. I don't know how to like properly like explain it, but it's just that I'm just fishing out ideas and stuff.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I mean, you know, this movie was freaking confusing, and our thought process is therefore going to be confusing as well. We're just trying to work out our main inner conflict as we're speaking. And another thing, you know, before I'm so glad you actually stopped me before I gave the final verdict. I I just realized something. We forgot to talk about how the dragon dies. The dragon dies at the end. So completely
Dumbest
BS.
fucking
It was the
way
dumbest death ever.
possible.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Like the
Do you want
freaking
So does she
main
just get shot by like a
yeah, she just
crossbow?
gets shot by the main antagonist with a crossbow, and it's like what?
to while she was trying to get the main antagonist to trust her, which
Yeah,
she
Raya.
the fucking
Yeah. So
like, what the fuck? That doesn't
I don't know.
like
This movie sucks.
like the thing, it's like the main antagonist could have gotten like a more like gray conflict with the whole story.
Right? Yeah, it's like, you know,
Like for
she
example
was
with
literally lowering her crossbow too, right?
like
She
she
was lowering her
realized
crossbow,
like literally
and then
realizing the error.
Raya was like, you know, oh, let me just give me my whip sword, and then she has a whip sword, by the way, but
Yeah.
she takes the whip sword, friggin' turns it on the dragon, and you know the main antagonist shoots the dragon on accident. Like, bro, are you kidding me? That's how she dies.
She was pulling the
It
fucking
I'm
felt
like,
so,
what was the
like-
whole point
I felt
of this
so, like,
dragon being here?
Anticlimactic.
the thing is she was pulling the trigger anyways, so it was kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
It
you know
felt
what?
so
Maybe not.
predictable.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's way too predictable.
It's
like-
like what the fuck? Why would you
Like before even seeing like the whole movie, I just felt like something's gonna happen in a way. Or like there's
Yeah,
like this trope, like this, it's the same fucking trope.
Someone's gonna die. That's in every fucking movie. The main character dies and they wake back up and they're like, "Oh my goodness, you're all right." And you'll be like, "Yeah, I did it." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I don't know. This movie just all around sucks. It just this whole movie is bad. The story's bad. The characters are bad. Everything about it is just straight up trash. I might say it's even worse than The Last Jedi. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna be real here. I think it's way worse than The Last Jedi. But
Way
you know,
worse. Way worse.
Yeah, way worse.
Yeah.
But I think between you, me, and the audience, I think it's time to give the final verdict.
Like before we
I think it is
give the
time.
final verdict, if anyone's in chat, please let us know what your thoughts on the Raya and the Last Dragon before we cut to the end of it.
Yeah, we'll recapitate the dragon. So, final verdict. Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna properly give this score a 5 out of 10. I mean, we already said everything is terrible and don't need to explain more. But Snake, what would you give this movie? In your personal opinion, what would you give for this?
I would say like a 6 out of 10. If I feel like they could have just done much more if they hadn't had the same like trope every like minute or so. And like one thing for sure that I'll give them praises about is like definitely one of the fighting scenes. I think the fighting scenes were okay at best, especially I like how they like showed the scene where in the beginning of the movie where it was like with the whole like Ischarisma with the martial art Ischarisma with those sticks and stuff. The one that
Screamer sticks.
Yeah, the one that Bruce Lee used in Enter the Dragon. There was like one scene which I thought which was
really... Yeah, you're right. He did use the friggin' sticks.
All
yeah,
right.
I really enjoy. I feel like they could have done much more.
The fight scene's really enjoyable a little bit, but even then, it's like unbearably like.
I wish there was like something where like, especially in each fight, where there's like some sort of like emotion, like there's some sort of like emotional like conflict in a way.
Yeah, there's emotional drama between the main antagonist and the main character. I would love to see that. We didn't get that at all. That shit was rushed as well.
All right.
Ridiculous. What do you think, Sans? What's the final verdict for this movie in your personal opinion?
Well, I really didn't enjoy the movie, so I'm just gonna straight up and say it's a 4.
4 out of 10. Okay, I respect that. That's something I would have gave the movie too.
I don't really have anything to say about it. I just said I don't enjoy it. It's a waste of time, and the plot goes really fucking fast to the point where you're like, what the fuck is even going on? It's like,
that's what I thought too.
That's why I'm giving it a 4. It went too fast for me. Maybe if they slowed it down
definitely.
and let me analyze it a little more, then I would have gave it a different number. But no, it's a 4.
Yeah, no, it's just 5. I think the only I mean, like the cast is pretty good too. I mean, I'm kind of glad Kelly Marie Tran is in this movie.
Actually, I want to give the score a 5.5 because I feel like they could have done much better with the casting. Honestly, it's like I read some of the casting where it's like I mean some of the casting I recognize, such as like Kelly Marie Tran and Aquafina and everyone else there. But like I feel like they should have just cast like just East Asian people in the way, like if you're literally, I feel like they could have had some sort of consultant with the movie, especially with the whole Southeastern Asian culture and like getting the proper casting, such as like, for example, if they I feel like they could have gotten like a Filipino person to like do it, or like maybe like a more like a Thai person, or just get like a cast of like people that are like that have like literally the potential to like cast the characters, like do like a re-audition or like do re-audition. I think that would have been a much better like movie overall.
Better.
Yeah,
way better.
It was pretty good, but it could have gotten better, I think.
All right, Pride, what's your final verdict?
I already gave it not too long ago, but I'm just being I gave it a 5 out of 10. That's how I see it in my personal opinion. I think that's a score we can pretty much agree on, 5, 4.
5.5.
This movie is just bad all around. For anyone watching this, do not watch this movie. Definitely not worth the $30 that you have to pay. Watch it, watch it at somebody else's house. Just do it in a way that doesn't involve you spending legally. Right? You do it illegally, that's not right. But that's gonna be for this podcast. I have no other things to say. So Trap Snake, you can go ahead and pretty much end it. I probably have like a sponsorship or something like that.
I don't have like I know if we're gonna do an ad break because like I can't even because this podcast is just.
It's really short.
Yeah.
So
Not that short. At least
It's
not
like
in my opinion.
I don't like to like. It wasn't like to me. This topic wasn't the most like thrilling in a way. If you get what I mean.
yeah,
How come it wasn't thrilling?
Like
we
like
don't.
like I guess it's just the movie overall that doesn't make it overall
Movie
thrilling.
sucks. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why it was short.
Like I wasn't able to like I don't have this like backhand in my mind where it's like I have these like things where I want to like theorize
I want to
everything.
say it, but it's not very thought provoking. It's not very like.
Yeah.
It's not very well thought out. Yeah, that's basically what this whole movie was. It sucks. It's like, bro, what are we doing?
Like I feel like
It's like my teammates in Overwatch. What are we doing? You're not going from point A to point B.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's end here, guys.
I don't.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Snake, there's a couple of things we do have. We have a social media platform. We have something on Spotify, Amazon Music, or something like that. Can you please explain to the audience?
Make sure to check out our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everything else on there. Please make sure to check it out. And also, there is a message on. You can also send messages to us if you guys want to like about whatever it is, and if you think our thing is wrong, we will destroy you with facts and logic. just like how Ben Shapiro said. Just like how Ben Shapiro.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, holy crap, Trap Snake, you just destroyed them. What are you, Ben Shapiro, bro? like, your opinion here is kind of, it sucks, okay? Like, here's the reason why. You just list all the facts why. It's like, bro,
I mean,
you could drop a nuclear bomb on them, bro.
they can find our fucking Discord too. So
yeah, true.
Also, before we end this all, I just want to say, if you guys are watching this movie and then especially when I said that the cast could have been much better, do not harass any of them.
Not harass the cast.
Do not.
Or any of the actors that are like involved with the writers. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, do not harass people. We do not condone harassing. We say that a bunch of times on this podcast.
Hopefully,
and we will not change the way that we say stuff. Not harass the cast.
Don't dox them or any of that crap.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty much it. Here, let me get.
All right, goodbye, guys. Take care. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Make sure.
Bye.
Goodbye.